Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Athlete and Artist Show. I am the artist Kyle Forch alongside my co host, professional hockey player Zach Boychuk. Today, no guests in the building. Haven't had a pod in a couple weeks, but we are 2 games deep into the Stanley Cup Finals now. But before we get into that, Chucky, you got some big news coming out of Berlin.
Yeah, no, exciting. Going back for my fifth year, I re-signed a 1-year contract with Berlin, and going back there just kind of feels like my second home right now. Even like I'm spending a lot more time there than here. That's for sure. We keep having these long runs into the playoffs and winning championships, so I'm usually like 10 months there and 2 months at home. But right now it's good to be home, but looking forward to get back there.
Yeah, that's exciting, man. I know you were talking about, I think a couple episodes ago, about what was going to happen in the offseason, whether you were going to go with Berlin or I think Munich you said was interested too, but you, Berlin definitely seems like the best spot for you, hey?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think I definitely talked to a few other teams that had interest, and I think deep down in my heart, I wanted another crack at winning another championship with Berlin, and going back to the same apartment there, and just very comfortable being there. So it's great to be back to where I'm comfortable, and obviously it's one of the best places to play in Europe, so can't complain.
Are you a German citizen at this point?
I think I could possibly, they just changed the rules. Normally you have to play 7 years or something and then take a German test and you can get your German passport. But now they've changed it to like 3 or 5 years. So I might be if I play one more season, I might be right in the mix. But yeah, I think you still have to take like a German test to get the full passport and everything.
Gotcha, gotcha. Makes sense. I mean, you've been there for so long. It would make sense if you were dual at least, eh?
Yeah, pretty close. I just gotta get way better at German, that's for sure.
Do you know any? Have you been learning a little bit since you've been out there?
Just a little bit. I mean, just the main things, but Berlin's such a hard city because you start speaking German and people will speak English back to you just because it's such
Oh,
an international city, and they realize that they can probably speak English better than I can speak German.
that's funny. All right. So, in terms of like signing, so I know every time you win, let's explain to the viewers who might not know, but when you win the leagues out in Europe, you then go on to the Champions Hockey League tournament, correct? Right. So, how would that have worked out? Say if you ended up signing with a different team, would you still have played for Berlin in that tournament and then gone to your other team, or kind of how does that process work?
No, so if you join another team that isn't in Champions League, then you're basically out of Champions League. So for
Gotcha.
me, like I played with Berlin, we made Champions League. I re-signed with Berlin. So we'll be in Champions League next year, playing against all the top teams from Sweden and Finland and Switzerland and all these different countries. So, but yeah, it's kind of strange because the teams can change a lot from one season to the next, and the like next year we most of our team's pretty much the same, but it's not going to be the team that won the championship playing in Champions League. So I think it's it's probably similar. I'm not sure how soccer does it because obviously a lot of their stuff is mid-season, and I think Champions League is one of the biggest tournaments in the world. It's not as big as hockey. Like it's kind of more of a big deal to win, your league and win the 7 round or the 7 game three round playoff series. But I think in soccer it's like if you win Champions League and you're king of Europe, that's the number one thing to win.
That's cool though. That you still get to how well has Berlin done in the previous Champions League? Because you've won 2 other championships with them. How have you guys done
Yeah,
in previous?
yeah, I think years ago they won sort of European trophy. I'm not sure if it was exactly Champions League at that point, but the last couple of years, there always seems to be one German team that does well, like one Switzerland team that does well. but nobody's really been able to full out win it. I think it's usually the Swedish teams that win the Champions League, or I think there's been a Finnish team as well. But yeah, it's a fun tournament to see how you stack up against all the best leagues, and you travel around. And I'm lucky this year. Berlin's playing against Freiburg in Switzerland, which is an old team of mine. So I get to travel there, and then we're playing against a couple teams in the Czech Republic as well. So the traveling part of it's the best part, and seeing how you stack up.
That's cool. You get to play against your old team.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I think a lot of the same guys are there. I'm not sure if the coach and GM and stuff is still there, but it'll be cool to go back and see those fans in Freiburg.
That's awesome. So when does Champions League actually start? Because it starts earlier than the regular Dell season, right?
Yeah, I think it's probably beginning of September, like
Okay.
September 3rd, like kind of in around there. And then our season usually starts a few weeks later. I think the season starts a little bit later this year than normal. And we're not playing as many games as well. We're playing like 52 instead of 56, which we played in the past. But yeah, training camp will still be pretty short, a couple of exhibition games, and then you're pretty much right into Champions League games.
Why is it less games for the regular season this year? Just because of Champions League, or
Well, I think last year we did play 52, but the year before we played 56 because it was like kind of like a COVID year, and
oh,
there was 14 teams in the league or 15 teams in the league instead of the usual. Like they didn't relegate someone after COVID. They just gave
oh,
everybody like a free pass to not get relegated. And then this year they did the normal relegation, so we cut back down to 52 games.
do the Champions League and regular season games overlap at all?
Like sometimes you'll get like a midweek like Champions League game, and
Okay.
then usually you have to like schedule to make sure you're not playing any German league games. But most of the time, everything's kind of spread out, and usually if you make it far enough, there's a couple games in November, kind of during our long November break. So they do a good job of making sure it doesn't overlap.
That's good. Awesome, man. I see you finally got a TV stand.
Yeah, finally splurged on a TV stand and getting this place looking good for the remainder of the summer.
Is that IKEA?
I think so.
I think I was
Um,
looking at that one when I went there last week. Just the black
did
version.
you get one yet, or you still got it on the suitcase?
I still got the suitcase.
Yeah, I had mine on the chair for a while. It was actually not too bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. I keep having to. I need to get a second TV. I keep moving it back and forth from my room to the living room every night. Need to get one in here
How,
too. I got this new setup that I'm trying to build out here for the podcast and for streaming and then music wise, obviously. But it's
yeah.
coming along. I want to get like a couch or some chairs back here, so then it's easier for like streaming and stuff like that, and just a nicer set, some more lights. Not doing any more of the light strips because they just tear paint off the walls, but I don't think these.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I
You're
don't
gonna
think
be
the.
losing your security deposit at the end of this one, eh?
Yeah, well, these walls are white, so it's if I have to paint over it, it's not as hard to like color match. Like the last place I was in had their own like custom color or whatever, so I couldn't just go in and like dippy doo dah like fix it myself. I had to pay someone to go in and do it. This way, like especially these panels, I think when I take them off the wall, they're gonna rip some paint off. So I'm gonna have to get one of my more handy buddies to come over and help me fucking sand the wall and repaint it. But it's not
Oh, for
looking too bad.
sure.
It'll get fine in here. It'll get good.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a handyman around the house, but I'm we can hire somebody to help you out.
Yeah, yeah. But you got the golf simulator in your place, so I mean, I'm missing out on that.
That's true. Yeah, and you're only a couple minutes away, so now we can get our streams going and get some
Yep,
golf sim and a little bit of pool time. So looking
yep.
forward to the next couple months anyways.
Yeah, I think you're literally right across the street from me. I'm pretty sure,
Yeah, it's
like a couple buildings
just
over,
about
maybe.
you're about a pitching wedge away.
So Stanley Cup Finals. 2 games in, 2-0 Florida. We had a pretty big hit on overtime markets the other night. Got the Panthers and the under.
That
Or
was a
no,
huge
no,
one.
no. It was Panthers and win by 1.5 over 1.5. Sorry, so Panthers
Yeah,
and the
and
win.
you didn't even need the empty netter, right? Or did you?
No,
Because I
I
think
don't
they
think
ended
so.
up winning 4-1 anyways.
3-0 first game.
Oh, it was 3-0. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was
So I
a
didn't.
big hit.
Yeah, it was looking close there at the end. I was getting nervous. Because it looked like the Oilers were going to score, and then as soon as that empty net hit, took a sigh of relief. Coming off the
And
suspension that you put me on, losing all our crypto, I hit a good
yeah,
one.
huge bounce back, especially when Edmonton pretty much dominated the whole game, and somehow Florida wins 3-0.
Yeah, I think Florida had less than 20 shots again, which is it seems like it's been the norm for whoever Edmonton's been playing this year in the playoffs, at least on
Yeah,
average. So,
you get outshot, you're probably gonna win the game. It's honestly crazy.
and then game two didn't place a bet, but another Florida win. Even though Edmonton came out firing, they scored first, but couple weird calls in the second game. I think that knee, the 5 minute major, and game
Yeah,
misconduct. What did you think about that call? I didn't think it should have been a five, but I think a
no,
two would have sufficed there for sure.
yeah, he definitely like stuck his leg out a little bit, but I felt like it wasn't like a full out knee kind of, and the guy tried to dodge it a little bit, so that maybe
Yeah,
that's why, but it also hit him in like the Charlie horse. Like I feel like it wasn't really knee on knee. So
yeah.
I would have preferred a two there, but there's also some calls like later in the game that could have went either way. And like even the Bennett one like wasn't really that bad on Bouchard, but still you got to call it. And yeah, just Florida's just had so much firepower. They're running around beating up guys, and it's McDavid's been buzzing, but nobody else can really do anything on the Oilers right now.
He's been taking a beating too. Like
Yeah, no, he
every
just gets back up and starts flying around. And
yeah,
but I think you know, the biggest one right now is Barkov hurt.
yeah.
Like obviously Draisaitl kind of gets in high with the forearm or the elbow or whatever, and kind of looked like it hit him right in the jaw, and he's kind of questionable to be playing. So that could be a huge loss, and we might want to wait to see place our bets before the lineup, see who's playing.
Yeah, what did you think about that call? Because I think he only got what a two. What did he even get it called? Was that a 2 minute, or did they let that
I
one
think
slide?
they ended up making a late call and they called him 2 minutes, but they didn't suspend him from what I
No.
hear. And yeah, it's definitely a dangerous hit, like jumping like that and
Yeah.
putting your arm, but it also it could have went either way. Like it didn't look as bad, but because it wasn't like an elbow right to the face, but at the same time, like
He
you can't be jumping.
he definitely flicked it out there too. It was just like
Yeah.
a quick little flip, bounce off his face, and then pulled it back in. He didn't even. I don't even
Yeah.
think they talked about giving him a fine.
No, yeah, probably not. It's like playoff hockey, I guess. It's no prisoners out there, but I'm not a fan of players going for the head at any time. Like I think you know where you're gonna hit a guy. Sometimes a guy might duck and you might, get an unfortunate bounce, but I felt like Barkov was just kind of skating up and he kind of made the decision to last second decision to kind of to hit him. And guys heads are precious, and you don't want to be messing around with that just because it's a big playoff game.
Yeah, that can cause a lot of long term injuries. Is the biggest thing, and obviously, like you said, Barkov could be out now going into game three. Hopefully not at all, but I mean that's a big loss for Florida if they do lose him. That's their captain. He's been playing like a stud. He's that'd be a
Yeah.
huge loss.
Did you see Maurice's comments? They were trying to get him to say something about the hit, and he just goes, "Oh, this isn't the Oprah Winfrey show. Like my feelings don't matter too much." So he just avoided it all.
Yeah, I saw that. Man, there's so many these sports reporters just they start they really get on my nerves a lot of the time.
Yeah,
I'm asking these
they
guys
gotta have
dumbass
something to talk
questions.
about, so they stir it up, right?
Yeah, I mean that one wasn't too bad, but like when they're constantly asking like, guys like even like Draisaitl, you see Draisaitl getting um given attitude back to some of these reporters, which I think is warranted. Like they ask the same dumb shit every single game, and it's like you gotta. That's why athletes like doing. I mean, I think we've talked about this before, but that's why a lot of guys like doing podcasts now because you're not getting the same cut and dry questions that are these like mainstream sports reporters, but then you see guys like the TNT panels are really good. I think they're the best in sports, especially when you have like Biz and Gretz and all those guys on the panel. And even in the NBA, I think TNT really kills it. Apparently, I've heard they might be losing that panel. So I mean,
Yeah, no more TNT for basketball. That's what I heard.
hopefully they don't lose hockey too, because I mean that's like I said, hockey. I think that what they're doing for hockey is big in terms of the media.
Yeah, no, I think everybody prefers that panel over any of them, especially like ESPN, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
having Biz and Gretz and all those guys on there, it's always entertaining.
Our sponsor for this episode is Overtime Markets, the top Web3 sportsbook. Overtime is an industry leading sports betting platform where users can immerse themselves in the thrilling world of sports. Leveraging the benefits of decentralization and blockchain technology, Overtime leads the charge in sports innovation, all while offering fans juicy money rewards on major sporting events. Overtime supports all the major leagues and utilizes advanced smart contracts to ensure an elevated user experience. Discover the future of sports betting at overtimemarkets.xyz, where sports and blockchain converge. What do you think is going to happen for Game 3? Obviously, depending on Barkov, but do you think Edmonton's going to come out firing? Do you think Edmonton's going to take it? What's the overtime market pick, regardless of Barkov?
I definitely think Edmonton's gonna come out strong. Obviously, I think right now Florida's going through some tough travel. They're kind of caught in some sort of rain delay, so they might not get here until really late, and then they got to play tomorrow. So that could factor into it. Obviously, you're kind of changing time zones as well. But no, I think Edmonton's gonna have to be desperate. It's gonna be I still think, the last two games, the unders hit under 5.5. So I think that'll probably continue. It just seems like both teams are playing tight. And I mean, you never know with Edmonton. I think during the season, you'd always hammer the over if they were playing, but it just seems like Florida's just kind of suffocating them, especially on the penalty kill. And there's not as many calls going right now. So, I think if anything, I would want to take the under.
Big under guy. I,
Big under guy. I
I think
mean,
you took
I
the
kind of
under in
went
all
it.
of them except for the last or game one of the finals. I think you took the over it, and it ended up under.
Yeah,
So back to the
yeah.
under you
During
go,
the
eh?
regular season, hammer the overs for specific teams, and then playoff time. It's always like 1-0 or 2-1 or like an empty netter at the end. It just seems like uh, teams come to play, and I don't know if teams are tired or they're just playing safe or what it is. And it definitely there's not as many penalties getting called, but yeah, we'll see. The last two games went under, so we'll watch this one will go over and I'll be screwed on my bet.
Well, it was funny too because both I think the other couple of times in previous series where you took the under, it was almost an over. Like it was like a 3-2
Yeah.
game. It was one goal off from Sewer and us, and then the one time you pick the over, it's a 2-0 game up until the end, the empty
Yeah.
netter.
Not ideal for sure.
No. Have you been watching NBA at all?
Not really. I feel like that series hasn't really been that interesting, and um I think the Celtics they won all four games in the last series. Now they're up 2-0 in this series. So it's unless Dallas can win a couple games, I don't know if I'll really be tuning in that much.
Yeah, Mark Cuban's team is not showing up to play. Celtics are just too good, I think.
Yeah, I think they're a wagon. They're out for blood for sure.
Minnesota going back to their North Stars colors next year. What do you
I
think?
kind of like that
Yeah.
actually. Get some nostalgia back, and be cool if Carolina did that full time. Just went back to the Hartford Whalers, but no, you got to try and change it up a little bit. I think Minnesota's kind of gone a little stale the last couple years, and I don't know, they haven't really had a great team kind of in and out of the playoffs, so maybe they just want to get people talking about them again.
I wish the Ducks would go back to the old colors, the purple and
Yeah, with
green.
the that would be sweet. The
Uh,
orange and black's kind of weird.
yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. Apparently, they're sticking or they're going back to the old logo. That's what I've heard.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
they need to go back to the old colors. Like that's what they need. I remember when they rebranded initially, they won the cup like right after they went from the purple and green to the gold and orange or whatever. And now,
Mhm.
they're so bad. It's like they just need to completely rebrand again, and maybe it's a superstitious thing that they'll win the cup in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I don't know about winning the cup. It might get them back into the playoffs, but
True.
we'll see if it can make them relevant again.
Zegras is there's I saw more talk about Zegras getting shopped. Do you think
Yeah,
the
there's lots of trade rumors right now.
do you think that there's a specific landing spot in mind for Zegras? Like, have you heard anywhere specific you think he might go, or where you think he would fit best?
I don't know. I heard rumors maybe Toronto or maybe Calgary, but I don't know. He's just one of those guys that, you know, he came on the scene. He was so good in World Juniors, and then he's kind of underperformed the last couple of years. He definitely needs a change of scenery, but he's a fun, like skilled guy to watch. But I don't know if he's the type of guy that's gonna really take you into a long playoff run. So I don't think Toronto's a great fit. They don't really need any more skill. They need more kind of grit. But I think if he came to Calgary, that would probably cause a lot more people to come watch, and kind of an exciting player if he can get on a goal scorer's line and set up some guys. I think that'd be pretty cool.
I think he gets a bad rap, like overall. Personally, like I really like the kid. Um, I think he like a lot of it is his personality. He's very um, I mean, he's one of those young kids that's very outspoken. People think he's cocky. He said things. He acts certain ways, but I think that's good. That sells the game. You need guys like that to keep the game, keep people interested. I know he struggled with injuries last year, so I think that was like one thing that, or maybe like the last couple of years he struggled with something. But yeah, I think a change of scenery, or at least like bringing in some more veteran guys for him. But it seems like he's the odd one out, Anaheim for sure. Coming to Calgary now, who would Calgary give up is the thing. Like, who would Anaheim want from Calgary that they would trade, a star like Zegras, even though he's not fully
Yeah.
proven yet. Like, Huberto's got 10-5 or whatever on his contract and 7-8 years left. So I mean that's probably a no. Like, they're not going to get rid of Backlund, even though I think Backlund's irrelevant. Like, I don't even the fact Backlund's the captain of the team blows my mind. But um, like Calgary doesn't really have anybody else I think that they could trade for Zegras.
Yeah, it'd have to be a little bit of a package, whether it's, I mean, I don't think Anaheim's really in the need to shed salary cap and stuff like that, but it would have to be Zegras and somebody else, somebody that they're really trying to get rid of. And then Calgary would have to probably part with the prospect, or um I don't I don't think Anaheim needs a goalie or anything, but you have all these good prospects in playing for the Wranglers, and then they have a pretty high pick. Like, are they going to pick a Ginla?
Yeah,
Obviously a Ginla's son. Like, there's a couple options here and there that I think, but at the same time, what if Anaheim just decides to keep Zegras? Like, I think he's due for a bounce back year, and he doesn't have to worry about the contract negotiations that he was dealing with last summer, and now he's kind of got to get back into the good graces of the coach. So I think he's going to be super motivated, and whether that's in Anaheim or somewhere else, I guess we'll see.
and well, they have Cutter Gauthier going in next year. Do you think too? So I mean, is that
Right.
where does he slip in? Like, do they have a lot of young guys?
Yeah, they could be good in 4 to 5 years. I think they got the right pieces for sure.
What about Blackhawks with the draft coming up at the end of the month? Obviously, the Hawks have. a bunch of picks. I
Yeah.
think that they have what two in the first round, two in the second round this year,
Yeah,
something
I
like
heard they
that.
were rumored to maybe try and go in on Gensel, so that at least Bedard would have somebody to play with if he went there.
Are you talking about at the draft? Like
It would
they would
be
trade for him?
like free agency would have to happen after, but
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure Carolina could make a trade sometime kind of around the draft and see if Gensel would sign with Chicago around that time. But yeah, there'll be a lot of stuff, a lot of conversations had in the next few weeks.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Like I would like to see. I mean, since Chicago isn't getting Celebrini, I would like to see them move a pick to try to
Yeah,
get like an older, maybe not like a mid range, like more established guy to come in help Bedsy. You know, hopefully Halsey is healthy next season. I think that'll
yeah,
be if Hall's healthy, that's huge for them too. Um, I don't know, man. Yeah, Chicago's got a lot of young guys too. They have obviously a lot of picks to draft these young guys. They have cap space to sign someone too, so it'll be interesting to see what
yeah,
Chicago does. And if they do it right, like they could make the playoffs as early as next year.
yeah. No, for sure. Like a lot of teams have cap space too, so that's
Yeah,
gonna help a lot with signing guys and
and it
trading
went up.
guys. So yeah, the cap went up, and um obviously you saw that cap friendly site got sold to
Oh
the
yes,
Capitals.
thank you so much for bringing that up. Like, man, what are they doing?
That's pretty crazy.
Just
Like it
out
sounds
of
like they just
nowhere.
want some of the data or something, but then
Yeah,
they
they just want to
also
sewer everybody else.
I'm pretty sure the information is still going to be out there. Like there's other sites that are the same, but a lot of Twitter people and podcast people are going to be upset that they can't crunch the numbers that easily for buyouts and trades and stuff like that.
Yeah, man, it's like that took me so off guard, especially like Washington of all places taking it.
Yeah, that was really strange to me, but maybe it'll help their analytics and help the way they're running their team. Obviously, they're going to need some help if once Ovi's gone. So
Yeah.
I don't know if what the big reasoning is behind that, but it sounded like the NHL wanted to buy cat friendly like years ago, but at the same time they don't feel like contracts should be made public to everyone, so they never bought it. But everybody still finds out about the contracts anyway, so I just don't understand why they wouldn't want that data on their side.
Yeah, I mean if they don't want NHL contracts being public, then why are they public?
Yeah, that's what just dumbfounds me. I don't get it at all.
Yeah, that's weird that they would say that, yet they're so openly available to everybody.
Yeah.
um, anything else you want to cover? What else we
No,
got going? You were
I'm
golfing
looking.
this weekend.
Yeah, had a bachelor party out in Invermere at me and my dad's house that we just built, and
Oh,
had
you
a had
built
a
a
good
place out
time out
there.
there. Yeah, yeah, we
Oh,
just
sick.
it's almost finished. There's just a little bit of like landscaping that needs to be done, but been out to Invermere a couple times now and played all the courses out there. Eagle Ranch was one that I played. Got the hat on
Nice.
from yeah, bachelor party with my cousins and uncles and there was 16 of us. It was a lot of fun. And
How
the
are
weather was way better. Like it was like 26 degrees or something, and in Calgary it was 12 degrees. So it's crazy that only like 2-3 hours away. It's that much better up in the mountains.
Yeah, that's nuts. How are you? Have you been shooting lately? I haven't gotten a chance to get out yet. I got to get out in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, not bad actually. I had a few rounds in the low 80s, and then I had a couple rounds that weren't so good, but the game's starting to come around, especially now that I've been playing more and the weather's better.
I am yet to break 100.
Maybe we need to do a series on that, the quest to breaking 100.
I'm down, man. I'm down. We can start with the streaming in the golf sim, and then we can head to the course.
Yeah, we practice every day, 7 a.m. in the golf sim, and then we go hit the course.
Get a little bit of crash conditioning in there too. Work on the core strength or what?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just go through a gauntlet. Try to break 100.
Shouldn't take long.
Yeah, I've been close. Just sometimes, I mean, I didn't get my first birdie till last year. I mean, it was a pretty sick birdie. It was like a 40-foot chip in, which was nice, but
Oh, that's unreal.
it was
Take
sick.
that.
I mean, it was at, where was it? Oh, I think it was out in Sylvan Lake it was
Oh
for
yeah.
my buddy's bachelor party as well, I think. Um,
Nice.
and or maybe it was Calgary, but anyway, yeah, I chipped it and I thought it went over the green. I saw it hit the green, saw it keep rolling, and then I lost it. We were looking for the ball for probably 5 minutes. I was like, I can't believe I lost this ball. This was looking straight at the pin. Buddy goes over, just looks in the hole, and he's like, no fucking way.
It's literally in the hole.
It's literally in the hole. I was like, and then I think that was on 9 too. So I birdied on 9, and then the rest of my day just went downhill from there.
Oh, that's unreal.
But yeah, we're gonna have to do some golf content this summer too before you head out. That'd be sweet. I'm down.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be down for sure.
We're going to do an overtime markets giveaway this week. So we're going to give away 10 $50 vouchers to our audience to be able to bet on overtime markets. You can either bet on the hockey game, or you can bet on Euro, NBA, whatever you want. It doesn't have to be NHL. But what you're going to see is this clip. We're going to post it on Twitter. We're going to post it on Instagram. Follow Athlete Artist on Twitter, on Instagram. Follow Overtime Markets on Twitter, on Instagram. Comment your crypto address and your game prediction for the Florida Edmonton Game 3 finals, and we will raffle off 10 $50 vouchers. All right, once again, I'm going to pick Florida going into Thursday night. Man, 2 days off. It feels so long, these 2 day breaks, but I'm taking Florida, man. I might take Florida on the under again, to be honest.
That's a good parlay. You're gonna take them plus 1.5, or just take the money line?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know, man. I'm thinking the next game could be a 1-goal game.
Maybe
That's
an
the only
overtime
thing.
game.
Yeah, man. I might stick
3-2.
stick with Florida. Yeah, I might stick with Florida and the under. No plus 1.5. What about you? You're taking the Oilers and the under?
Yeah, I'll go Oilers. I definitely want the under. I agree with you on the under. I don't know about the Oilers. It's gonna be.
Damn, really? The first game at home.
I'm not loving it, but under for sure.
This is going to come out Friday. I mean, we're going to put that clip out early, but I think that this will come out Friday. But Chucky, for the stream tomorrow, we got some Bean Boozled. I know you were chirping me for ordering this in, but I figured out some intermission games maybe. We'll just add to the Overtime Markets V2 got the game live game betting. So I mean, maybe we can tie in our game bets for the stream as well. Some little punishments. But have you ever played Bean Boozled before or seen it?
I've seen it. It's been a while since I've played it, but
Oh, you have played it before?
Yeah.
I have never played it before, so I've always wanted to play it, but I'm not looking forward to some of these. Like liver and onions. Liver and onions not good. Old Bandage does not sound good. Rotten egg, not good. Toothpaste, I think I can deal with. Stink bug, like what are some of dirty dishwasher, like dead fish, man? I might puke tomorrow. I might puke.
We'll get some good clips out of it anyways.
Yeah. Anything else, Chuggy?
No, that's it.
All right.
Go to
Overtime
Show Markets for sure.
Yes, sir. Athlete Artist Show, rumble.com, Athlete Artist, Overtime Markets. We will see you on stream. See you next week. See you later.